Boopity boo.
Bang! Hello there, gaming fans. Welcome to my hideout. I am your host,
The Horde!
back with another gameplay video for your entertainment today. And today we are following up on our amazing success at being a judge and finding an innocent man guilty in our first episode of You're the Judge! Because the second case promised to be a murder case. Not just some boring human trafficking nonsense. Actual murder. And I'm hoping that with this case we get a much better quality of witness or of evidence, because the first case was so severely lacking. I expect whoever brought that case before me has lost their job because it was paper thin and weak as piss. And that's the reason that the guy got sentenced to 100 years. And yes, I'm aware that doesn't make any sense. The prosecution put forward a pathetic case, and as a punishment, I sentenced the defendant to 100 years. But I was having a bad day. I woke up expecting my family to be there on my first day of a judge, and no one was to be seen. Not when I went to work, not when I got back. And I know they say you shouldn't take your personal problems to work, but I wear my heart on my sleeve. I'm an emotionally charged character, and as a result, everyone must pay accordingly. However, that was the first episode. Today, in You Are the Judge, we are hoping for a much more serious outcome and being presented with a much stronger case that actually makes me have to think a little bit, because it was obvious the guy was not guilty in the first episode. I didn't have to do any digging at all. But that's enough waffling about me and my personal problems. And by me, I mean the judge, Judge Robinson, whatever his name is, I don't know. Let's head off back now to his lonely cold house and his depressing empty life and see what happens in our very first murder case. Okay, so here we are. Kobardde versus Lucian Foster, the murder case. Accepting bribes can put you in a difficult situation. I'm not talking to you. You can't accept bribes. Other than dreamies and their bribes to just stop pissing all over my things. I give you dreamies, will you stop pissing on my clothes? No, he says. Didn't say that. Right, let's carry on. Right, get out of this fucking house. Why can't I go through my door? Oh, I can. Okay, let's head straight out the door. I know my family don't care about me. I know they're not here. Let's go to work. I imagine there's going to be a lot to read if we've got a murder case coming before us. Do I have a checklist again? Come on, man. I have to click flags and shit. Not this time, man. This time we just go straight onto the machine. Come on, law is cool. Is there anything in here? Please, can someone recommend a movie to watch? No, Matthew Taylor, I cannot. Anything in the notepad? My family relationship hasn't changed, and maybe that's because we're not having any contact with each other. Sometimes that can be a good thing. My relationship with the Supreme Court is quite good. They must have really enjoyed the fact that I sent an innocent man to jail for 100 years. The pricks. Anything on the browser? Can we look at porn? We can look at news, bank, or meeting. I'm going to ignore all three of them. Anything in my mail? Oh, the murder case. I sent you the documents regarding your next lawsuit. The lawyers will come and meet you before the trial. I know that. The government is requesting that you investigate the crime scene for the murder suspicion involved in your next lawsuit. Do I actually get to visit it? Come on, man. Let me go to a fucking crime scene. Yes. Hello? What am I doing? Phone? Crime scene is an option. Let's get ourselves over there. Yes, I'm fucking sure. To the crime scene. What are you looking worried about? You just shut up and purr. I can shut up and purr. Why is the timer going down? Oh my god, I was too busy doing something else. I didn't realise the timer was going down. Talk. We may need to inspect the other containers. Okay, so he was murdered in a container. Looks like he was smashed in the head, judging by the amount of blood there. Okay, anything else? What can you tell me? Being by the seaside is not good for my stomach. Mate, you're supposed to be a professional. What other containers do you want me to check out, man? Oh, wow. It's a big crime scene over here. Lots of tape. There's nothing else for me to check out, man. You've kind of locked off the area. What are you talking about? It was just like the number one. That was useless. That told me nothing. Can I go back there? I'm not finished. Oh my god, I can only go to pre-trial. This is a nightmare. Is there anything else I can look at? I don't want to look at the computer again. Well, I suppose it's pre-trial then. I don't feel like I got enough from that crime scene at all. I haven't got any other fucking options, mate. Yes. Okay, we've got the lawyers in front of us. Okay, let's talk. What do you got to say to me, woman? The plaintiff's lawyer, Harper Gray. During routine inspections at the port, the body of Miles Petter was found inside a frozen food container. No fucking food in there when I had a check. In light of this incident, our prosecution office conducted a thorough investigation, and based on interviews with witnesses and examined evidence, it has been determined that the incident was committed by the CEO of the container's owning company, Lucian Foster. Alright.
Therefore, we request that the defendant be punished accordingly.
I sounded like I was going to continue that sentence, but apparently that's all Harper Gray has got to say. Talk! This is Laura Martinez, the defendant's lawyer.
My client, Lucian Foster, is an important and respected businessman. We acknowledge that there was a heated argument due to the issues encountered during the recent ship voyage with the deceased.
Why was he on a ship voyage with a frozen food container? That doesn't sound like it's in his pay grade. It sounds way beneath it.
However, after this argument, Lucian Foster never saw the deceased again. My client personally also desires the thorough investigation of this unfortunate incident. However, he denies the murder charges placed upon him.
Looks like we're going to trial then. Oh, hang on. Questions.
My client has no option.
There's no questions here, man. This is just my client has no objection regarding the case.
Go case, motherfucker!
Social media can provide you with detailed information about the country's current state. The country is shit. Oh, shit. I forget I get my magic cards. We're going to go for number 2 today. What does number 2 tell me? Number 2, your relationship with the government will decrease by 5 points. Damn it. Undoing all the good work of the card in the first episode. I think it's half. I think I got 10 points in the first episode. Order in the court, motherfuckers. The lawsuit begins. That's it, Judge Richard. You tell them. Right, what do we start with here? Evidence. Show me the fucking evidence first. We've got security camera footage. Hopefully that's more useful than the last one. We've got 3 people arguing. I'm assuming the guy... Alright, okay. I wonder what happened then. That guy just fucking disappeared. I thought Thanos had snapped him out of existence. But no, that is it repeating. So there are 2 guys arguing and then another guy shows up. Brilliant. Police report. What you got to tell me? Reporting officer Ethan Martinez. I hope he's not related to Laura Martinez, the defendant's fucking solicitor. Autopsy report. The victim lost their life due to freezing. Well, there's fucking blood everywhere. Are you sure it wasn't to a smashed in head? Prior to this, there are various signs of physical assault. Yes, he had a smashed in head, but it wasn't enough to kill him. Diagnosis report. The victim's brother has identified the body and confirmed it belongs to Miles Petter. That is the shittest report ever. You always hear about police complaining about having to file reports. That's it, man. Yeah? That's the shit they file, and that's what they complain about. Less than 100 words, you lazy bastards. What else? Get me off this fucking tablet, man. Let's talk to people. I want to talk to Harper Gray. Harper, what you got to say for yourself, man? Under what circumstances and how was Miles Petter's body found? I mean, how would he know? No, that's the solicitor. Harper Gray is his, hers. No, the prosecution lawyer. Fucking hell. Did we get there? I think we got there. Ask. I've forgotten what voice I did. I'm ignoring voices.
Miles Petter body,
No, apparently I'm not.
was found during routine inspections inside a frozen food container.
What are the allegations regarding the argument between the fight between Lucian Foster and Miles Petter?
According to the statements of the ship's crew, there was a significant argument and fight between Lucian Foster and Miles Petter.
I saw no fight. I saw an argument, but there were 3 people involved in that, so maybe the 3rd person's the killer. I already have reasonable doubt in my mind. What is the connection between Miles Petter's death and Lucian Foster?
Based on the investigations conducted by our prosecution and witness testimonies, it is alleged that Miles Petter's death was committed by Lucian Foster.
That it? I fucking knew that, mate. You know any more details than that? That's pretty shit, yeah? Hopefully these witnesses are going to back up your claim with some kind of solid gold testimony. Right. Would you fuck off? Oh yeah, end the listening. Got it. The conversation is being ended and the next one is going to begin with the defendant, Lucian Foster. Lucian, what was the cause of the argument during the ship's voyage?
The cause of the argument during the ship's voyage was a disagreement regarding the ship's engine failure and related responsibilities.
This guy's 32 and he's CEO. Dresses like shit for a CEO. You are accused of killing Miles Petter. How do you respond to these allegations?
I am deeply shocked and saddened. I deny these allegations.
Brilliant. Did you see or communicate with Miles Petter after the ship engine failure? Inc.
I had no communication with Miles Petter whatsoever after the argument. I deny the allegations of any contact.
I mean, what was the rest of that sentence, man? Inc. what? Fuck knows. Who cares? Carry on. That didn't tell me very much. Obviously, he was going to deny it. He's not guilty. Robert Taylor. Who the fuck are you? I don't know who he is, yeah? I don't know who this guy is. What was the subject of the argument between Lucian Foster and Miles Petter during the ship voyage? The full question was here. It was right in front of me. Why did I miss it? Because I'm an idiot. The subject of the argument between Lucian Foster and Miles Petter during the ship voyage was related to the ship's engine failure and responsibilities. Man, some of this just feels a little bit repetitive. How does the ship's crew describe the argument and fight between Lucian Foster and Miles Petter? The ship's crew describes a significant argument and fight between Lucian Foster and Miles Petter. Now, I asked for details, man. A significant argument. What is that? What is a significant argument? Is that lots of shouting? Is that lots of name calling? Is that lots of swearing? Because I do that that in court. And a fight? I didn't see any fucking fight, mate. Who punched who? What happened? Did ship engineer Miles Petter make any mistakes or omissions during the last voyage? Ship engineer Miles Petter's failure to conduct necessary checks before the ship's departure led to a major engine failure. Thank you very much. Right. Is that supposed to be motive? He didn't do his fucking job? Piss off, Robert. Okay, Charles Martinez. Is he a cop? I think he's a cop. He prepared the report. Fucking hell. As the person who opened the frozen food container, it's not. There's a lot of Martinez's in this fucking case. Can you describe how you experienced the incident? When I opened the frozen food container, I saw Miles Petter's body. No shit, yeah? In what condition and position was Miles Petter's body found inside the container? Miles Petter's body was found on the floor inside the frozen food container. Man, come on. I need a little bit more than that. Can you give me some fucking details, please? I know it was found on the floor. I saw the fucking outline. It wasn't drawn on the fucking roof. Did you notice any suspicious circumstances or impressions regarding Miles Petter's death? I did not. Great. Thanks for your fucking help. Why don't you fuck off, Charles? Who's next? Brian Scott. These witnesses, yet again, are terrible, yeah? What can you say about your last interaction with Miles Petter? Our last interaction was during the argument that took place during the ship voyage. I have not seen him since. Were you part of the argument? What was the tone of the argument? The tone of the argument between Miles Petter and Lucien Foster during the ship voyage was quite loud and aggressive. See, that's a little bit more detail. That's the kind of thing I'm after. Can you give me a little bit more? Did you have any contact with Lucien Foster after Miles Petter's death? He's already said no. I had no contact. See, I expected him to say that because he'd already said that. Fuck off, you. Brian, we're done. Next, Ronald Hall. Oi, Ronald Hall. Get on the stand, you prick. What did you see and notice when you arrived at the scene? When I arrived at the scene, I love how they give me a little summary of what I've already asked them. I saw that the food container had been opened, and I noticed Miles Petter's body. Were there any other traces or evidence found in the container where the body was located? I did not observe any other traces or evidence in the container where the body was found. So he changed it up a bit there. He didn't say located. He repeated every other word I said, but he changed one to found. That's what you're supposed to do, yeah? Thanks for at least changing one word. Do you have any findings regarding suspicious circumstances? I mean, who is Ronald Hall? Why would he have findings? Is he a cop? Based on my investigation, I'm assuming so, I currently have no specific findings regarding any suspicious circumstances or individuals. Right, so all we've got to go on is a fucking argument. At best, mate, that's circumstantial. So fucking what? File. What we got in the file? Hang on, I haven't seen some of these things. Where's the rest of this fucking evidence, mate? Hang on, let's go back. Is there anything good in here first? Right, I've spoken to these twats. I haven't seen all this evidence. I've seen security camera footage, and I've read something. I don't know what it fucking was. In a routine inspection conducted within Kobardde Court, a male body was discovered inside a frozen food container. It was learned that this body belonged to the container's owner, ship engineer Miles Petter. Why did he have his own container? I don't know. He obviously has a sideline in transporting frozen food as well as being a ship's engineer. The ship was experiencing a major engine failure in the ocean because he was too concerned with his frozen food shipments, and it was discovered that this had happened because Miles Petter had not conducted sufficient checks before the ship's departure. Upon hearing this, the CEO, who was on the fucking boat for some reason, had a heated argument with Miles Petter and even physically assaulted him, according to accounts from the crew. Now, no one's actually said that to me. They said that there was a bit of shouting and it got aggressive and loud, but there was no fucking physical violence, according to anyone. What else have you got? So look at my checklist, see where we're at. The files were examined. I've just fucking done that, mate. Fucking examine them, you dick. Get out. Have I looked at this pre-trial shit? Yeah, I know that. I know he denies murder. Pre-trial note, evidence, law. There's only 2 bits of evidence here. You're fucking lying to me, man. Was there more pages to this police evidence? No. Oh, right, it's all on here. The autopsy report, which is 20 words. The diagnosis report, which is 20 words. And the police report, which encompasses both. Bollocks. So you're expecting me to come to a decision based on that? Let's have a look at the law. Any person who intentionally causes the death of another person shall be deemed to have committed the offence of homicide. A person found guilty of committing homicide shall be punished with a penalty as required by the evidence and the court's decision. If the homicide offence is considered to have resulted from discrimination against the victim based on age, race, gender, religion, or nationality, the offence shall be punished with a more severe penalty. You're fucking kidding me, right? Is that it? Is that all I've got to go on? I've ticked everything off, man. They want my decision. At least the fucking court behaved themselves today. Alright, decision time. Yes, I'm sure. They didn't give me much to go on, but I'm sure I'm ready to decide. The Deputy DA's opinion, let's hear this. It was fucking fantastic last time. The location where the incident took place and the evidence can be quite helpful. Evidence usually can, yeah? Thanks for fucking telling me. So what are we going to do? The sides and witnesses were heard in the court, and the evidence presented was examined. There wasn't an awful lot of it, which meant it was nice and quick. But what are we going to do? Are we going to fine the person for committing murder? That doesn't sound like an appropriate sentence. Are we going to send them to prison despite the fact that there is absolutely no evidence that there was any physical violence between the two. There was a little bit of shouting. Or are we going to say that the defendant is innocent? The witnesses and evidence provided has given us cause for reasonable doubt. We need to be 100% sure that this defendant committed the murder before we can find him guilty and pass a sentence. However, my wife, yet again, was not at home when I woke up this morning. I have had no breakfast. I am hangry as a result, and a hangry man finds people guilty. You're going to prison for 1 year. The plaintiff won. Everybody out. Go fuck yourselves. I don't know how they're letting me get away with this, man, but they are. Back to the office. The human trafficking guy got 100 years. Yeah, that's human trafficking. This is murder. Yeah, 1 year. Wife, are you home? I'm fucking starving. Please say that you've left some food in the toilet for me. They haven't. Okay, let's try this room. What's this room? This is the living room and kitchen. Is there any food in here? We've got 2 ovens, no fucking food, yeah? It doesn't look like anyone fucking lives here, mate, yeah? There's no glasses, there's no signs of life. I turn the TV on. Can't even turn the fucking TV on, mate. They've stolen the remote and the batteries. Is there anything going on in my office? Is it my move? Has someone knocked over these pieces? Were they like that before? I don't know. Let's play a sad song and cry. Or let's go to bed. It's sleepy times. Is someone going to have a word with me for my terrible judgments? I've got a decision to make. The government is working on a new immigration bill. What are your thoughts on this matter? I mean, what does it fucking matter? Immigrants will disrupt our demographic, or we can use immigrants as a workforce. Not slaves. That's not slave labor. Yeah, we're going to pay them. Of course we can use immigrants as a workforce. It will help our economy grow as we integrate these new people into society and learn from each other how to build a utopia. Fuck you, government. Okay, so I've completed 2 cases and they're not stopping me yet. They are letting me get on with Albert Neuron versus Kobardde Prison Administration in a rights infringement lawsuit. Maybe they are actually getting wind of my lack of suitability to be a judge. I've gone from human trafficking to murder to rights infringement. That sounds like they're not giving me the most serious cases anymore. And to be honest, I don't blame them, yeah? I wouldn't trust my judgment if you paid me. And they are paying me, and they still don't trust my judgment. Does that make sense? I don't know. But all that's left to say today is, thank you for watching the video. I hope that you enjoyed it. Please take care of yourselves out there, and I will see you next time. Goodbye.